Mulvaney is officially taking her transition offline following the intense backlash and widespread hate around her Budlight partnership. Speaking to them, Dylan says, "There's a level of me that knows I wanted success, but I didn't know it was going to be for my transness."
What is going on, everybody? WiredAnomaly back once again off a hiatus from a compilation of my computer completely frying out, my printer deciding to not work, and spending a lot of fun summertime with my daughter to once again get back to this Bud Light boycott, which is completely wrecking Anheuser-Busch's stock. Now, I've covered this before. I'm not going to recap it too much, but we all know since Dylan Mulvaney decided to sponsor the brand, even though the company says that's totally not true, it didn't actually happen. We all know it actually did, and we all know that they are suffering terrible, reprehensible damages to actually being eclipsed by Modelo Especial as the #1 beer in America at the moment. So I want to get into this article here. After fur, Anheuser-Busch hopes next Bud Light commercial goes down smooth, which I'm gonna get my crystal ball out here, do a total prediction and say it won't, because there is now a negative stigma with drinking Bud Light. I've actually seen this real time in person on multiple occasions now. People do not want to order this beverage. One, it doesn't taste good, and it never tasted good. But two, there is now a negative stigma with it, and people are going to accuse you of being trans, of being queer, LGBTQIA, XYZ positive. Anheuser-Busch InBev is getting ready to pour cold beer on a brewing controversy. After getting tangled in the nation's culture wars with a Bud Light social media promotion that included trans influencer Mulvaney, a move that unexpectedly resulted in boycotts, diminished sales, and the decision to put on leave two marketing execs who oversaw the marketing efforts. And don't cry for them, because I know one of them, Alyssa Heinerscheid, is living in her $8 million New York apartment, so she is, loaded beyond loaded. You can buy your way into Harvard. You can't buy your way into intelligence, though, unfortunately. The company hopes to move on with a new ad campaign that focuses on the many summer activities that present an appropriate moment for the beer. One of the best-known beverages in the United States, Good Times, the sunny 1978 hit by the dance music group Chic, plays throughout. We want to show up in all relevant occasions in summer. Backyard barbecues, stadiums, and sports venues, says Todd Allen, an Anheuser-Busch veteran who was recently named vice president of Bud Light, in an interview. Well, I feel bad for you, Mr. Todd Allen. You have a big hole to dig out. I hope they at least decided to give you a shovel when you decided to accept that task, because you have a monstrous hole to dig out. Quote, "That's what counts, and that's what we are focused on." In addition to a broad ad campaign that Allen says will show up on primetime broadcast TV, cable, and sports programming, Anheuser-Busch plans to tap NFL players and country music stars to pitch Bud Light to the masses. Tyler Braden, Seaforth, and others will take part in a Bud Light backyard tour that brings musicians to intimate locations. And NFL athletes Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and Dak Prescott will star in other ads ahead of the Football League's 2023-2024 season. What's more, Anheuser-Busch will give away $10,000 each week to a fan, give consumers a chance to win $100 toward their bar tab, and offer rebates over July 4th weekend. Now listen, that's all well and good, and that probably would have increased your sales a little bit had you not partnered with Voldemort. But at this point, people are really stuck on their principles. And I just don't really think that they care. Will you get some consumers back? I'm sure you will. People are always going to, go back. But there are going to be some people who will never drink this product again. Who will probably been drinking it their entire lives. And that's the market. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just, that's the way it is. It doesn't matter how, they said they want to pour 3 times into the marketing revenue. That's fine. Pour 3 times the amount into marketing. It's not going to matter. It's not going to make it up. you are not going to recover a certain percentage of the people you lost. And you're not even going to get the LGBTQIA XYZ community because you disavowed them about a month after by not coming out and defending Mulvaney. That's just the way it is. Anheuser-Busch has more than tripled our already weighty national media investment behind Bud Light, Allen says. The brewing company spent approximately $60.1 million across traditional media for Bud Light in 2022, according to Vivix, a tracker of ad spend, and has already spent nearly $40.8 million behind the product in the first quarter of 2023. Just pouring numerous amounts of money into this failing ad campaign, which you had successfully for 20, 30 years. The Clydesdale horses, the Budweiser frogs, the Real Men of Genius, all down the drain. Lifetime, our reputation takes a lifetime to build, seconds to destroy. Arnold Rothstein. The brain, the bankroll. There's good reason for the brewing titan to pour more out. Bud Light and the Budweiser have long sought to capture attention with inspirational commercials featuring the company's signature Clydesdale horses and sophomoric humor that tickles funny bones with anthropomorphic frogs and Real Men of Genius. But the company has found itself at the center of a cultural maelstrom in recent weeks, with the Mulvaney connection drawing the ire of some conservative segments of its consumer base. The musician Kid Rock posted a video on Twitter in which he shot cases of Bud Light with a gun. Well, we all know about that. That's all old hack. I want to move over to a different article here. Country star Chase Rice Coors Banquet shows Garth Brooks and Bud Light how it's done. Which is, country, traditional, southern stuff, barbecues, chicken fried, all that stuff is not going to cut it this time. It's not going to get you your market share back. It's not going to get the consumers back. And in all honesty, you probably could have done most of this if you came out of the gate and said, listen, we messed up. Shouldn't have sponsored Mulvaney. Most people probably would have looked the other way. But it's the silence and then ignoring it and then trying to come out like it never happened. And now we're, how many weeks later? 11 weeks later? And now you're like, oh, well, please come back. It's too late. Too little, too late. While Garth Brooks is defending Bud Light, Chase Rice is teaming up with the Coors Banquet to promote 150 years of excellence. Are the two related? Probably not. Will it divide country fans? Probably. Are we here for it? Absolutely. Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. It's dividing a whole nation here with this whole trans ideology movement. Which I do not feel that actually Voldemort is a part of because they haven't had top surgery, they haven't had bottom surgery. There's no plans to ever have that. Mulvaney is a grifter. And they grifted onto this brand. Not that I actually blame them. I actually don't blame Voldemort for that. Because, we live in a capitalistic society. If someone's going to pay you a bag to do something and you have the right amount of shames to do it, why not? I blame Melissa Heinerschneit and Brendan Whitworth and CEO of Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch. And now you're suffering the consequences of your actions, which has got to be very bad. Doesn't matter if Garth Brooks promotes Bud Light. It's not going to help people recover sales. It's actually going to hurt Garth Brooks. He's going to lose fans from it, unfortunately. People are set in their ways. They're sick of this woke ideology. And they don't want to shove down their throats anymore. It's very, very simple. Anyway, that's all I got. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps with the algorithm. I will catch you guys all in the next one. And thank you for listening this long. Later.